All right. This is kind of a cool subject, and it's basically we're going to talk about clubs. Okay, I know this is a bat, but throughout your season, you're going to need to pull out a different club. And I really love that saying because it's not always the best time to try to hit a home run every time. Okay, sometimes it's okay to just try to hit a ground ball in the 3-4 hole, and that's okay. So like, I'm going to give you guys some examples of this. So we talk about bringing new clubs to the plate, and you guys might not understand this at all, but basically, let's say I got a dude that throws fastballs, and it's fastball curveball. Like that guy, he throws a lot of fastballs, and basically he's throwing hard, and I just got to get on time with that fastball. That guy's a good guy to kind of try to take a good swing and hit a line drive or some sort of a high line drive somewhere and hit it hard. Now, there might be a guy, like let's say I'm right-handed, right? There might be a dude that comes in the 8th inning, which I had to face these guys all the time. So I had to do this all the time. I'm facing the starter. I'm trying to get my best swing off, trying to drive some runs, trying to get on, hit a double, hit a homer, or whatever. Mainly, I was trying to hit a home run off the top of the fence and center, and then I'd basically react to everything else after that. But I was always looking fastball out over the plate, middle away, trying to drive it up the middle. I wasn't trying to like stay inside it and try to force it to right center, and I wasn't trying to get too far out front, or even kind of do this. I was trying to basically, for me, I wanted my top hand to drive through and stay through and try to drive that fastball over the center field fence. That was kind of my thought process. Was the top hand through the middle of the ball to the hitter's eye, the 400 sign, pretty much. And then basically, if I got a little beat, it would go to right center. If I caught it a little out front, it would go to left center. And then maybe if I'm in a good position and he hung me a slider and I'm thinking that, then I end up hitting that slider and end up hitting it hard somewhere to the pull side. Or worst case, maybe I got it a little deep and I hit it to right center. But the idea is the same thought process every time. But I want to talk about a different club here. So that's a guy that I'm trying to drive. That's my normal approach for most pitchers. Now, let's say I got a pitcher that's coming in here and he starts flinging this and sinker. He's got the slider, frisbee, and it's just funky, and I kind of don't like it. The matchup's kind of weird, or he's like way out here throwing across around this side. So for me, what I would do is I would be like, all right, well, this isn't the guy I'm going to try to hit a home run off of. And you have to basically establish that. You have to kind of figure that out in your head before you walk up to the plate. You're going to go up there and be like, all right, well, this pitcher that I have, I'm not going to hit a home run off of. I'm okay with that. I'm probably not even going to hit a double, but my best swing is a hard line drive into that 3-4 hole right there. Just because I'm going to get off the plate a little bit. I'm not going to necessarily worry. I'm going to more focus on something out over the plate, and I might even back up my contact point a little bit just to see it a little longer, because I know he's got that sinker, and I'm not really trying to do too much to it. I'm just trying to kind of play pepper on the barrel and hit a hard line drive in the 3-4 hole. And then what should happen is too, I should allow a little bit more time for that slider for me to recognize. And so a lot of times is basically, sometimes I talk about backing with the ball. You're looking for the fastball out here typically, like I want to hit it out here, but on these guys, I might back up this ball back here. I might try to see it a little bit deeper. I was a guy that can spin off anything and hook everything. So that was me. If you're always late, then you're gonna have to figure this out. But I would back up my contact point and I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna hit this thing in the 3-4 hole. I'm not gonna try to do too much. And so my swing should just be like maybe a hard one hopper on the dirt to right field, and maybe I get myself a knock. So that's being smart. That's picking the club that is for that guy. It's not for the hole, it's for that pitcher. But kind of a golf terminology, right? Picking up the right approach for this pitcher is basically what I'm trying to say. And how I learned this too, I'm gonna give you some background, is I went to Mexico, a lot of breaking balls. It's like everybody's got a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, cutter, sinker, riser, you know, and the strike zone's huge. So you're not really getting much to hit. You can't take your best swing like they're teaching, like, oh, this huge swing. So I had to provide for my family. I had to drive in RBIs. That's what I went there to go do, is drive in RBIs. I ended up driving runs. I ended up leading the league in doubles, and I ended up having 70 RBIs, which was pretty good in 100 and something games for a guy that's never been down there. And kind of like adjusting to their type of pitching. And so anyway, what I noticed is these big these huge dudes, they would come up there, they had like 30 home runs. They'd be a runner on second base, and they'd have a pitcher, and what they would do is they'd hit a ground ball, and it'd be like a 40 hopper, and I'd be playing second base, and it would go right in the 3-4 hole, and that guy would score almost every time. And I'm like, what is going on? They're not even trying to drive baseballs right here. They're not trying to get their best swing off. They're not doing anything. They're literally just poking, using their hands, and hitting that 3-4 hole, getting an RBI in. Could be runners on second and third, and you know, they just go here, cutter away, boom, and they shoot it over there in the hole, and it gets by the first baseman and the second baseman. Pretty amazing. And what happens too when you're not trying to do too much is they hang breaking balls, and you end up blasting them to your pull side. And so I learned that, and anytime I had a runner on second, anytime I had a runner on third, the wind blew straight in. So even if I hit it good, it would go, and somebody would catch it, they'd run it down. It was like, I feel like 25 miles an hour straight in, and I'm like, you know, I need to hit literally a ground ball in the 3-4 hole. And so I started kind of picking that club, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this when there's runners on second and third, when the wind's blowing in, when it's not the right time to go deep. Like if you have the wind blowing in your face straight in at you, and you want to take your best swing, you're done. You're really done, because you're going to be out. The ball's going to sit there in the wind, unless you have like elite power, judge power. Is it gonna sit in the? It's gonna sit in the wind, and somebody's gonna catch it. Okay, so really you need to move your sights down. You need to start trying to hit something lower. Okay, and so I'm not telling you to go in the 3-4 hole all the time. Maybe okay, I'm trying to hit it up here. Maybe I'm gonna move it a little bit lower, and I'm gonna hit a lower line drive. Maybe a hard ground ball up the middle is something that I need to do in this situation. So look at the flag moving. Okay, look at the flag. Don't be ignorant. You know, look at the flag. Find out, do I have the wind with me, or do I have the wind against me? What's going on? Okay, what type of pitcher is this guy? Is he a sinker guy that, like, I'm probably not gonna, you know, gotta be honest with yourself, man. It's okay. I've hit 25 home runs in a season before, but like, there's times where, look, I'm not gonna hit a home run off this guy. And what's funny is I would hit a home run off the guy because it ain't a slider, and I'd be just trying to hit a ball in the other way, and so. I learned how to back up the ball. I learned how to, and not that I'm not trying to take a good hard swing. It's just that I've moved my contact points typically like out here, and I've moved it back, and I'm now allowing, you know, a couple more feet to see the baseball, and I'm not trying to do too much with it. That's basically what I'm trying to say, and that's what I think you should do when you're sitting on breaking balls. If you can't sit on a breaking ball, you don't know how to do it, you look for a heater, back it up. Try to hit this thing over the second baseman's head or in the 3-4 hole, and then if that thing pops, so if I'm looking out here and I'm looking to just drive something this way, this thing pops over here, then I'm in a good position. I can take a really good swing, you know, and smash something. Okay, and so that's kind of a good little tool to have if you don't know what you're gonna get. So I hope this helps. Yeah, again, maybe runner infield in. Give you another scenario: infield in. You got to run on third, and you're just trying to get a sac fly. You're not trying to home run. You're literally trying to just beat that inside part of the baseball. You're not trying to get around it. And I talked to some guys, even my guys in Double-A, and we're like, okay, if I get a sinker baller and a runner on third infield in, he's trying to get me to hit a ground ball. He wants me to get around this ball. Okay, if I'm trying to go hit a fly ball in the left, that's not a good path. Okay. My misses should be right field line. So I want to get off the plate a little bit. He's got a sinker, ball's coming in, and I want to move something. I want to look for something out over the plate. I want to hit the inside part of the baseball, and I want to attack that inside part of the baseball, and I want to hit something into right center if I can. Okay? And then worst case, if he does throw me that breaking ball, and then I can get it and I can be on plane and hit that thing in the left center. But I'm not hitting anything to left field or to my pull side. If I'm pulling, if you don't want to hear me, fine. You're going to roll over to that third baseman, you're going to roll over that third baseman. If you're right-handed, you're going to roll over to the third baseman. If you're left-handed, you're going to roll over to the third baseman or first baseman. It's just what's going to happen. So try to stay through the big part of the field, attack the inside part of the baseball. And again, you're not trying to hit a home run there. If you get too big, what happens is the pitch that you're supposed to get early in the count, and you got too big, you fouled it off. Now we don't score that guy. Okay? So that's what I teach my guys is like, you get something, take a good rip, a nice rip, and hit a nice fly ball out there. If the wind takes it and it goes over the fence, so what? But the idea, when there's runners on, that pitcher's trying to make his best pitches. And the higher you go, you're not going to get that many. So early in the count, you might need to just take your fly ball. Take your fly ball, get your ribby, and get out of there. Okay? That's good, because what'll happen, you get big, foul it off, okay? Then you take slider for strike, it's 0-2, and then he punches you. And you're like, what the heck? Well, it was that first pitch that you got big on. So again, what club are you using? You have the home run club, right? Unless you got a guy that you can absolutely crush. But again, when there's money out on the bases, I don't leave money out there. I get that money in from third. I get that stake, drive him in. If I try to do too much, then that's my fault. That's my fault. If I got a pitch and I look back on that at bat, and I had an at bat to drive in that guy, I had a pitch to drive in that guy, and I got too big. Oh man, I'm gonna be frustrated. So anyway, so what club? Figure out what club you're using during the game. I hope this helps. I'll talk to you guys